All right, Rowland-Smith. Get it? This is Ryan Rowland-Smith. Did you approve this?
I did. I approved.
You did. You.
I did.
And I had a
I didn't have much say in the matter, but yeah, I approved.
Right against a relief pitcher comes out. Now it's all again. It's what list are you looking for? This is top 5 nastiest relievers. So not best relievers, although there should be some coinciding there, right?
Yeah. Now, look, by the way, I do have to preface, I did one of these lists a couple months ago on high heat. Social media wore me out. But I was talking about the highest value, but we're talking straight nastiest dudes who I've seen this year.
Best stuff, which usually will lead to success. But all right, give it to us. Sure. Top 5. And I got some numbers here, too. Go ahead.
Okay, good. All right, so number 5, I'm going with Fernando Cruz. Cincinnati Reds, pitching out of their bullpen. I'm telling you right now, the split for me is absolutely filthy. And what makes it filthy, too, when guys can throw a split 50% of the time, which roughly that's what he's doing, 50% split, 50% fastball, guys just can't sit fastball ever. And I think this pitch, when you look at some of the movement, some of the depth on that pitch, it's ridiculous. Opponents are hitting 0.61 against that split. So he's made my top 5.
I love that he's in there. Right now, not all the success. His strikeout rate is extremely high. Walk rate is very high.
Right. But we're talking stuff here.
So no, I'm good.
You can try it off the backside.
Number 5. No, good. And this will also bring us some guys that we don't normally talk about.
Right.
I've heard about it. Hey, have you seen this guy yet?
Right.
All right, keep going. Number 4.
Okay, so I do have to go Josh Hader. Now, we just talked about the Houston Astros struggling. He was a big piece of that, right? So the month of April really, really struggled. The fact that you can be in top 5 when it comes to strikeouts after the April that he had is telling you something. Now, we all know about the slider, the fastball. They play so well, but he has figured that slider out again. He throws across his body. Lefties have got absolutely no chance, hitting 0.91 against Josh Hader. So he slides on the list. And by the way, I had to have a lefty in here too because the rest of the guys are righties.
Okay. Hader's 5th in strikeouts per 9. I don't have a percentage in front of me, but when he's locked in, he's untouchable. Yeah, all right, so you got one of the old guard, a guy who was regarded as, if not one, top 3, top 5 last year going into the offseason. All right, go ahead.
Okay, now I'm going to go Andres Munoz. Now, I have to give some love to my Seattle Mariners. Now, this guy, I'm telling you right now, everyone talked about 100, 101 mile per hour fastball. The slider, he's gone in and out with the slider. The slider's been a pretty good pitch. When he added the 2-seam fastball to around 97, 98, forget about it. I've talked to hitters who have faced him this year, and they said the minute he added that little sinking fastball to go with the 100 at the top of the strike zone, along with the elite slider, man, it has just been a different Andres Munoz. Dealing with some back issues at the moment, but when he has got that 2-seam, that sinking fastball, 97, 98, he's making the list.
It's funny because I'm looking at the guys here. Now, his walk rate is palatable, right? It's like it's 2.93 per 9, but his strikeout rate is over 12 per 9. So the guys that you're looking at, they might walk a bunch of people, but they're missing bats left and right.
That's right. Now, the next guy I have, he usually is on everyone's number 1. So he's on my number 2. Now, I got worn out on social media for this because he wasn't in my top 5 last time we talked about it.
But this guy you're putting in number 2.
Yeah.
So now you're insulting him. Right, okay.
No, I'm not insulting. This guy is,
number 2.
I would say, it's a toss-up 1 and 2. But Mason Miller, obviously, everyone talks about this guy, talk about the fastball, 100, 101 at the top of the strike zone. We hear all about him. But how about we give that slider some credit too, man? That pitch is absolutely disgusting. He is burst on the scene with the Oakland A's. Now, the reason I left him off my list is simply because he's with a team where the high leverage situations weren't really a factor. But now we're talking nastiest pitches. He is definitely up there at number 2.
Well, you see, we do a show called Top 10 right now every offseason. So frequently you'll say at number 2, and they're like, how could you possibly? I'm like, we have him number 2. You're not insulting the guy at number 2. Although I am surprised because I thought Mason Miller would be number 1. So who's number 1?
No, this guy, he's always going to be on my number 1 list, Emmanuel Clase with the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay, yeah.
He is ridiculous. When you can dominate as much as he can with that one pitch, that cut fastball, that is how you get to number 1. First of all, you can talk about Mariano Rivera, one of the best in the game, best to ever do it. But he's throwing the cut fastball at the same basically the same rate, the same amount, but he's throwing 100 with it. There is no chance you can catch up to that 99 to 100 with that cut, that late life on that fastball. He is definitely number 1.
You know what? It's funny. I came into this. I did not know your list, but I was just looking at strikeout leaders. I'm looking at the whole factors here. Last minute, I'm thinking, all right, you know where I'm going to get after him? If he doesn't have Miller or Clase on the list. But you got him to 1 and 2. So you're set. Michael Kopech, were you close with him?
Yeah, look, I was a little bit. He gave up a home run back in Seattle. I was watching him. I feel like, watching the fastball, which is elite, obviously hitting triple digits, top of the strike zone, but it is a little bit more hittable when you look at the average against.
How about the great version of Craig Kimbrell. Not the one
yeah.
not the bad version, but the one who's locked in, who gets the first strike fastball, and you're like, all right, what are you going to do to this guy?
Yeah, anytime you have now I talked about certain pitches with some of these guys, like the split for Fernando Cruz. But when you compare together two elite pitches and they tunnel the same way, with Craig Kimbrell, when you look at the way that the two pitches play off each other, the way they come out of the same tunnel, that slider and fastball in his prime, absolutely.
Yeah, and probably if you're doing top 5 nastiest of the generation, right, then Kimbrell, to me, is like the most unhittable guy really I've ever seen. There is a stat called Stuff Plus that kind of puts together in a stew. It's on Fangraphs, you can find it, to look at the guys who have the nastiest stuff. That's usually it's with break, vertical, horizontal, break. Mason Miller in Class A are 1 and 2, right? So Kopech is there as well. Now, Tanner Scott's a guy who's had a lot of success. I haven't looked in on him recently, but last year he was one of the better, most effective relievers in the game.
For sure. And look, I get a little bit biased with teams who and it's not their fault, but guys who are on teams that high leverage situations, coming in with runners on base, whatever it may be, and their stuff absolutely plays, and there's just that straight swing and miss. Obviously, the first two guys there, Mason Miller and Class A, and Aroldis Chapman. Look, I had a couple honourable mentions, by the way. Aroldis Chapman, he's still doing it. You talk about Stuff Plus, he's still making these boards up there at 151.
Now the other guy that was up there, and I had just to find out his number. I think it was 47 strikeouts in 25 innings. Jeremiah Estrada. By the way, I've not gotten a good look at him so far. I occasionally see it, and but the numbers are eye-popping. Is he close?
Yeah, he is, and he has that split. It's very unique. As a matter of fact, he was in the building talking about the way he grips at Sean Pedro a couple nights ago. So that pitch it's elite and it's unique, that's for sure. But again, like I'm saying, just watching guys when you talk, I base this off swing and miss, batting average against, and just straight some of the reaction, the swing reaction you get.